Hello, it's Piedmont 501 and welcome to my quick and easy tutorial on how to get on the network and fly a Piedmont Virtual flight. This works for pretty much any virtual airline as well, so feel free to watch this video. I'm not going to get into a lot of detail so that we can roll through it pretty quick, and if you get stuck on something, feel free to hit rewind. Also, another disclaimer, everybody's setup is a little different. Some of us have expensive payware aircraft, some of us have FMC computers, all that. Then you can modify how you log onto the network based on the equipment you have, but this is the most basic way to get flying. Pretty much, I paid for Flight Simulator, and outside of that, everything else is freeware or free website services. So again, this is as easy as it gets. If you add to it, that is certainly your option as well. So you're already a member of your virtual airline. So we'll go to Piedmont Virtual's website, and we'll go to the login page. If your virtual airline uses the PHP VMS system, then your login will be basically the same, which you can use either your pilot ID or you can use your email address. So that makes it easy. So we land on the Pilot Center page. Lots of information on how you can set up your virtual flying experience. I always like to click on the NOTAMs page just to see if there's anything going on that affects our flight, and there's nothing new, which is fine. So we'll head back to the Pilot Center, view flight schedules, and today we're going to take a flight from Charlotte to Cleveland, Ohio. Now the easiest way to find a flight, you can obviously scroll through all the flights, or you can select a departure airport. Since there are a lot of flights coming in and out of Charlotte, how about we find it by arrival airport? That's going to make it a little easier. So we're sorting by arrival airport, and we're going to pick Cleveland Hopkins International Airport. Find flight, there we go, just a couple to choose from. We're going to do the flight 6132 today from Charlotte to Cleveland. You can see there are departure and arrival times and equipment code and a route. You can fly the flights anytime you want. Most VAs don't have a problem with that. And the route, you can choose whatever you want as well. This is just a suggested or preferred route. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this in. So I'm going to highlight it, Control-C, or you can right-click and copy, either way. And then add to bid. This is where the magic really starts. When you add your bid, that goes to our server, which can be retrieved later by an ACARS program, which is a really, really neat feature. You can also add multiple bids. It's going to keep track of the order that you added the bids. All right, now we have that done. I'm going to show you another free site, which is called simroutes.com. Since I'm not using a fancy FMC or navigation equipment, I'm just using the basic onboard GPS for Flight Simulator. I want to get the information to load into my GPS so that I can fly. So I'm going to use simroutes.com, go to generate routes. We're going to be departing Charlotte today, and we're going to be going to Cleveland. Go ahead and paste my route into the route box. Now with SimRoutes, they have preloaded departures and arrivals. So we know we're on the Jackal 6 Nally transition. So I'm going to do the pull-down window. Sometimes their departures and arrivals are not completely up to date, but they're pretty close. So we'll be going with the Jackal 5 Nally, which is pretty close. And for Flight Simulator and VATSIM purposes, you will probably be in good shape if you do that. Now, since we have it in the SID box, we can go ahead and delete it out of the route box now. Our arrival is going to be TVT, which I believe is Teverton, Keaton 6 arrival. So we're going to pull down the box and see if we can find TVT to Keaton 3. Wow, there are a couple of updates behind, but again, close enough, right? So we can delete that out. The only thing we need to keep is the Charleston VOR HVQ. So now we'll generate the route. It's going to pull up a page that actually has a map of your route, has your waypoints, frequencies, even calculates the time. And this is based on whatever aircraft that you plug in here in your aircraft information. They're going to give you METAR information, all kinds of good stuff. And you can change your aircraft depending on what equipment you're using, but we'll be using the 737-200 today. And we also have the opportunity to file online with this program. So let's go ahead and use that today. We're going to click File Online, which will open up a new window, and that'll take you to your VATSIM page. we're going to be filing IFR. My call sign is Piedmont 501. We are using a 737. My equipment code is W. True airspeed, I think that's a little hot for conditions, so we'll change that. Departing from Charlotte, departure time, we'll call it 16:10 Zulu time. Cruising altitude for our flight today, we have suggested cruise altitudes on our website, but depending on the wind conditions, you may want to choose something else. So we're going to be flying to the northwest. That means an even altitude, so let's just go for 30,000 feet today. You can put that in either as 30,000 or FL 300. Either way, it'll work. There's the route of flight already in there for you. Destination Cleveland. En route time, it's more along the lines of about an hour and we'll call it hour and 15 minutes. Then your voice capabilities. Are you full voice? Can you receive only or are you text only? Full voice from me. Remarks. This is optional, but this gives you an opportunity to tell ATC some things about you. Maybe you're a new pilot, or maybe you have no charts, or maybe you want to tell them that you have charts, whatever it may be. I always put in the website, just for marketing purposes. That also helps them know when the ATC will look at that in the box, they'll know to call you Piedmont and not call you U.S. Airways. We don't like that. Fuel on board, you can calculate this. There's another link online, which we won't get into in this session, that you can calculate your fuel. Aero Texas and Garen Evans has a great website to calculate that, so you can figure that in and put it in. Alternate airport if you want. In this case, it automatically pulled up Detroit for us. We can keep it or leave it. It's your call. And then we're going to put in our name and our home base airport, our VATSIM ID, and our VATSIM password. Once we're done with that, we're going to click on File Flight Plan. Now, the flight plan is on record for the next 2 hours with VATSIM. As soon as we sign on with that call sign, it will know who we are and where we're going, and it will match us up, which is really neat. Now, I'm going to download the flight plan. You can see that SimRoutes supports the different versions of FSX, FSN, Level D, 767, PMDG aircraft, Squawk Box 2, 3, and 4, X-Plane, all covered. I fly FSX, so let's download the flight plan. And it's going to save it to my downloads, and it's ready to go.